what's up? How you doing? It's your favorite boy on the mic. As usual, King Zeb, and I'm from Shortlips TV. That's what's up. So today, I will be asking Nigerians a very, very sensitive questions. Now, you can all agree with me that domestic violence has been one case that has been reoccurring over and over again in our country. And it's not something that is actually nice, not something that we can buy or stand for. I'll be going into the street to ask the question, which is, what's their take on domestic violence? And should women remain in such marriage because of their children? Likewise, the men that are being beaten by their wives, what should be the advice to such men? So while you guys are watching, let me take you on a ride. That's what's up. The question I'm asking today is, what's your take on domestic violence? And do you think the women should still stay because of their children?
My take is that it's a very, very terrible thing. So the woman who is being beaten by the spouse has no other option than to leave the relationship.
Okay. So
that's the best thing for her.
Instead of staying together and be fighting, better they go apart. They don't even have reason having children, fighting together. Every day you're fighting, you're making children. How can you be fighting me, then at night you're going to come and make love with me? I won't accept that. It's wrong. I'm a married man.
Staying back in a marriage, there are other factors you have to put into consideration. If you are talking about domestic violence, you cannot just leave your children and then walk out of the marriage. You still consider the effect on the children. You can decide to manage, but still on stay is a two-way thing. There's other aspect to it. You cannot still kill yourself because you are trying to safeguard your children.
No, they don't have to. Because you say because of the children, one day you might die. And you die and the children will live. So it's better you get a divorce, you can split the kids, you take care of some and your husband take care of some. Or you can take them to your parents if you still have parents.
The determinant factor of the domestic violence remains the case. Sometimes, if the factor is of the woman, she don't have alternative other than to stay and settle her case and remain peaceful. Because if she remain peaceful, her marriage will blossom. But if the factor is on the side of the man, I don't think she have any need to continue the marriage. She just walk away.
It depends on the level. Immediately, it involves bloodshed, taking person to hospitals, and it's advisable that the person should leave that environment, should leave that kind of matrimonial home, and let other intelligent people intervene. Let people intervene. Because if it's not done that way, it can result to untimely death.
No woman should endure any form of violence in her home. And don't say because of your children that you want to stay. What if he kills you tomorrow? What is going to happen to those children? So domestic violence in any form is never advisable. I would never advise any woman to remain in a home that is violent.
No woman in the right sense will want to stay in marriage when she's facing domestic and abuse. People will always want to say, what are the costs? What are the costs of domestic violence? But whatever it is, that is the cost of domestic violence. But when life is threatened, no woman will want to remain in such a cycle where her life is being threatened.
The women should go apart because a lot of domestic violence leads to death. Sometimes you may think it always go the way it used to go, that they will just fight and settle it, and one hit sometimes may lead to death and may lead to internal cry that people will just like, why should I stay? So I believe when domestic violence is occurring, most time they should go apart.
Women should not stay. Because once you are alive, that is when you can live to witness more things, good things that is happening to your children. So, but if you keep staying because of the children, there's a day that you might not live again. Because anything can happen and there's danger in it.
Okay, when we say domestic violence, you see men maltreating their wives, beating them up for no reasons. But to me, my take is they should not stay. They should go for a better marriage that at least they will have peace of mind.
75% of domestic violence, in my own opinion, is being caused by women. One, manner of approach. There are ways you talk to people, you understand. It creates tension and every other thing. But to me, domestic violence, 75% is being caused by women. I know what I'm saying and I can stand by it. If you go very well, they will not cause the problem, but the moment you go after them now, they will not sharing innocent chair, crocodile chair. That is the problem. 75% of domestic violence is being caused by women. And I won't advise any marriage person to diversify because of domestic violence issue. Because at the end of the day, it was the children that will affect.
No woman should remain in an abusive marriage because of children. If you continue living in that marriage and you died, who will take care of the children? So my advice to women out there going through such should quickly leave that marriage.
To an extent, because leaving your children behind, those children, they will experience a kind of a horrible life. So it's better you stay in your marriage and pray towards it.
Any marriage will not work well for you. Better could leave it, because this life, no be marriage. If you say you marriage, let me just be a joy because my children, because anything can happen. So it's better if say this thing, favor you, kuku ban there, move forward.
To me, it's good to stay in the marriage because of the children. But when the situation is out of hand, you cannot fail because of the children, then you lose your life.
Domestic violence could be applicable maybe due to stress, depression, or frustration. So I think in as much as we are trying to solve the problem of domestic violence, mostly against women, we also try to employ patience, and see how we can solve the problem without really having to break homes and families.
Okay, so I'm asking, what's your advice to the men out there that their women beat them?
Seek help. Seek help. There are legal avenues open for such. Just the same way women who are being abused physically in marriages seek help. Men also who have been abused physically in marriages should also seek help. There are avenues open.
What is the problem why the wives beat them? If the problem is on the side of the man should work on himself. If he's on the side of the woman, the man should just leave the woman alone and walk away.
If you have such a woman, it's better you just leave your home. Just go and cool off instead of raising your hand, on your woman.
If something like that happens, I believe they need to look for a counselor. That's my advice. They need a counselor. If the man will be able to continue to handle such things, they should continue. If not, they should let the woman go. I don't think men should try to get physical with their women. It's already wrong. Okay, but if this is the case, a very weird scenario, a negative scenario of the woman trying to beat the man, then I don't think the man should react the same way. They can always have a conversation. There's no problem that cannot be sorted out through conversations. Let them talk about it. The woman somehow, if she's being spoken to, she can understand that what she's doing is really wrong. If the man wants to react the same way, it's like trying to correct something the wrong way. So two wrongs cannot make a right.
The man should seek for advice, go to the counselors and see many people, even visit the spiritual fathers of theirs, and I believe with that it can actually work out and better for them.
Any of the spouses, maybe men or women, if your opposite sex is beating you brutally, then you have to leave. Women can kill men now.
My advice to those men that they should look for a better wife, not the one that will bring them troubles.
They should just call off that marriage. It doesn't worth it.
They should try as much as possible to please their woman.
If any man is having domestically abused by his wife, I think he should also seek for help.
Or maybe they will just ignore the woman, follow the woman. If they know what that is leading for the woman to beat them, they should avoid it.
And that kind of woman, no be stay with me, so we go turn to pushing back. Which man I will tell my guys or tell my family say my woman abuse me, they see me say I get mark for face or I get mark for anywhere. If they ask me say, guy, what happen to you? I will lie for them say I get accident or I will tell them say my woman that beats me. It's better I go leave the woman because I know that one agbero.
Let that woman go so that you can have peace of mind.
First of all, we need to understand that domestic violence is both sides.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we assume it is against women. Sometimes also, there have been cases of domestic violence against men. Whichever way it is wrong. Emotionally, it is wrong. Physically, it is wrong. Even spiritually, it is wrong. So it's a no-no.
You've heard from the streets and you've seen how the street have answered this question, how they have reacted to the question, asking what's their take on domestic violence. It's not the best answer. It's not actually the best answer to any issue in a marriage. If you are having any issues, learn to talk. Communication is key, not domestic violence. But I hope you did enjoy my content. If you're enjoying this particular video right now, you want to keep seeing more of this, I beg you all to please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Shortlives TV and also on Instagram at Shortlives TV. Do not forget to follow us on our official website at www.shortlives.com. Until I come your way next time, until I storm your neighborhood, it's your favorite boy, King Z.